Beginning, the fall of House Varesh. In the glittering city of Kelthura, where spires of crystal pierced the lavender skies and hoverways shone like ribbons of light, Lady Varesh of the Cinder dynasty ruled over half a planet's wealth. Her name alone could buy empires. Her lineage stretched back to the dawn of the Ilthuri species, a people known for their luminous skin and intellect so vast they sculpted atoms like clay. But all that meant nothing after the accident. Her daughter, Lyra, once the pride of the family, a prodigy who could compose symphonies with neural code and manipulate machines with a flicker of thought, had been struck down in a hover crash. Her spine shattered. Her neural lattice, the biological matrix every Ilthuri used to connect their consciousness to the world's data stream, was severed. The doctors said the same words over and over. Irreversible. Even the most advanced medtech from the Central Worlds couldn't repair such damage. A broken lattice meant paralysis, not just of the body but of the mind's reach. Lyra could no longer access the infinite data streams that every Ilthuri child learned to swim through like a second ocean. She was trapped in silence, in stillness. Lady Varesh poured her fortune into research. She hired gene weavers, biomechs, and even illegal black box engineers from the outer fringe. None succeeded. Lyra, once glowing with radiant energy, grew pale, her light dimming with each year. And so Lady Varesh, the woman whose empire shaped the galactic economy, faced a truth that all her credits could not erase. She was powerless. Until the day a human mechanic knocked on her gate. Middle, the human mechanic. He called himself Eli Trent, a lanky man in grease-stained exosuit armor, his hair permanently tousled, as if the universe itself had been trying to shake him off. He came from one of the Terran fringe colonies, one of the death worlds Ilthuri nobles often mocked, places where gravity was heavy, storms were constant, and life clung on through sheer defiance. He didn't come with a company or credentials, just a worn metal case and a half-broken smile. Lady Varesh almost dismissed him outright, but her daughter, ever curious even from her bed, had requested to see him. So he stood before Lyra's chamber, a hall of glass and light where her frail form rested in a hovering cradle. She couldn't move below the neck. Her once luminous skin had faded to a dull ivory. "You're wasting your time," Lady Varesh said coldly. "Every surgeon in 3 sectors has tried." Eli gave a lopsided grin. Maybe they tried too carefully. He opened his case. Inside was not sleek Ilthuri tech, but crude Terran engineering, metal, wires, hand-forged circuits, and a small device humming with faint blue light. Lady Varesh frowned. "That looks primitive." Eli chuckled.
"Yeah,
"That's kind of the point." He leaned close to Lyra and spoke softly. "You know what your people get wrong? You think healing's about perfection, rebuilding things exactly the way they were. But sometimes the trick isn't fixing what's broken, it's teaching it to work differently." Her eyes, dull for years, blinked once, twice. "Different how?" "By giving it a new path," Eli said. "Your body's neural lattice is fried, but your brain still wants to move. I can give it another route, not through the lattice, but through a hybrid interface. Old human method meets Ilthuri biology." Lady Varesh's voice snapped. "You'll tamper with her mind?" "Not tamper," Eli said. "Collaborate." The word hung in the air like an impossible promise. The experiment. For the next 10 cycles, Eli worked in the Varesh laboratories. He slept little, tinkered much, and muttered in Terran under his breath, words the Ilthuri translators had long abandoned as barbaric slang. He studied Lyra's brain scans, her lattice blueprints, and her species' bioelectric patterns. He built a prototype, a neural bridge of Terran alloy and living nanofibers. It looked rough, inelegant, nothing like Ilthuri craftsmanship, but it pulsed with power. Lady Varesh watched with suspicion, but also desperation. Her empire had begun to crumble. Investors whispered that grief had driven her mad. She didn't care. On the 11th cycle, Eli stood beside Lyra's bed. "You ready?" Lyra's voice trembled through the synth vocalizer. "I haven't been ready for years." He smiled softly. "Then today's a good day to start again." He connected the bridge, a series of glowing filaments that spread from the base of her neck into her spine, merging with her broken lattice. Her body jolted once. The sensors screamed. Lady Varesh stepped forward, panic rising. "Stop this. You're killing her." "Wait." Eli barked, eyes fixed on the monitors. Lyra's body convulsed. Her light flickered erratically. Then, slowly, her fingers twitched. For the first time in 5 years. Her mother gasped. Lyra looked down at her hand in disbelief, tears forming. "I felt that." Eli exhaled. "Good. Let's see what else you can do." Over the next days, her recovery accelerated. Muscles once dormant awoke. Circuits reconnected. Within 2 weeks, Lyra could sit up. Within a month, she could stand. Within 2, she could walk. The impossible had happened, not through ilthery perfection, but through human stubbornness. A mother's revelation. The day she walked into the dining hall unassisted, Lady Varesh was hosting a private banquet for political elites. The alien nobles were laughing, sipping glowing nectar, discussing trade pacts and profit shares. When Lyra appeared at the door, silence fell. She wore a flowing gown of silver light, the very image of her younger self. Every noble in the hall froze. And at the head of the table, Lady Varesh, the woman who had weathered wars, corruption, and loss, dropped her crystalline plate. It shattered on the marble floor. "Lyra," she whispered. Her daughter smiled softly. "Hello, Mother." The room erupted in gasps and murmurs. Some thought it a hologram. Others believed it was a trick. But when Lyra took a trembling step forward, then another, the truth became undeniable. She was walking. Lady Varesh rushed forward, tears flooding down her cheeks. She wrapped her daughter in trembling arms, her composure shattered. "How?" she whispered, looking past her to the man standing in the doorway, Eli, in his worn jacket and oil-stained gloves. The nobles turned their luminous eyes toward him, a mix of awe and disgust. Lady Varesh looked between her daughter and the human. "How did you do this?" Eli rubbed the back of his neck. "Didn't fix her. Just gave her body permission to try again." The cost of miracles. Words spread across the ilthery systems like wildfire. The richest woman in Kalthura had witnessed a human mechanic heal the unhealable. Soon, other nobles came, begging for cures to their genetic flaws, their aging, their decaying lattice networks. Eli refused most of them. "This wasn't a cure," he said. "It was her." Lyra fought for every step. "You can't just buy that." But the ilthery elite didn't understand humility. They only understood ownership. Offers poured in, billions of credits, fleets of ships, even marriage proposals from royal houses, all for the secret of his hybrid interface. When he refused, the offers turned into threats.